Hi everyone, this is Linda, your Back in the Groove Again coach with an interesting series. Now, as you know, I am your Back in the Groove Again coach, and some people say, well, what does that mean to get back in a groove again? Now, if you're from a certain era or a certain age group, you know what groovy meant. So back in your groove just means, getting back where you're feeling yourself again, where you're feeling in balance, where you're feeling good, you're feeling your groove. So in this series, it's all about interviewing different coaches that offer different services that I do. So I'll be interviewing some health coaches, some dating coaches, some business coaches, all sorts of different coaches that can help you get your groove back on. It's going to be great, and so I'm hoping that you really enjoy this series. And if there are other people you want me to interview to help you understand certain things, please do let me know. Send me an email at linda@backinthegrooveagain.com. Enjoy the series. Bye now. All right. All right. Well, hi, Ada, and thank you for agreeing for being interviewed with me.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you today.
I'm really, really happy that you're here. Now, as you know, I'm a Back in the Groove Again coach for people in midlife, and as you're probably aware, a lot of people in midlife aren't taking care of themselves for very different reasons. Maybe they're busy, maybe they're looking after their children, or maybe they're looking after their grandchildren or parents. So before we get started with our interview, let me introduce you to our viewers. This is really, really interesting, and I'm going to have questions for you about this in a few minutes. So your business name is RX4, Everlasting Health. You're a holistic health practitioner, a biohacking coach, speaker, and co-host at Voice of America. Shift Happens. I almost said the other word. Thank goodness I didn't. Shift Happens show. You also have over 25 years of experience in healthcare, in internal medicine, oncology, urgent care, and you worked as a registered medical assistant and laboratory technician. And your vision is that all female entrepreneurs, and of course everybody else, understand that they have more control over their health outcomes than they actually think. That their doctors, and I like this, that their doctors are responsible for their sick care, but they're responsible, so the women, the entrepreneurs, are responsible for their health care. I really like that. You say that women should make it a priority to become the CEO of their health and lifestyle. And your mission is to educate and empower individuals, especially women entrepreneurs, to prevent, control, and reverse chronic diseases. And you do this by biohacking their cells. And I'm going to have a question about this in just a few minutes. By biohacking their cells, their body, their mind, and spirit, giving them the tools and nourishment needed to turn on its own highest healing potential. Of course, and this results in long, healthy, vibrant, focused, productive, and harmonious lifestyle, fulfilling their dreams and their God-given purpose. Wow, so you've been working in the healthcare field for over 25 years.
Yes. Since I was a child, that was my journey. Even when we had career day, I always dressed either as a doctor or as a nurse.
Wow. I mean, it's not often that when we think of something as a child, when we think of a career as a child, that we actually follow through and do it. So congratulations for doing that. Now, how did you stay motivated in the field? Because you've been doing different things in the field, but always in healthcare. How did you stay motivated to continue working in this field?
I have my own health journey that I had to go through. And I always see things that was going on, and I wanted to make it better. And that desire of making it better was what urged me to do what I'm doing now. Because I was trying to make it better, because what I went through, I didn't like it. And the ways I was treated, I didn't like it. Right. And I don't mean treated bad, like people treat me bad, but the way medicine is given, the way Western medicine works, it didn't improve anything. It just made me worse and worse and worse, in my health. I suffered a big stroke when I was 31 years old, where all my life I was paralyzed. And after that was pill after pill after pill until I got to 19 pills a day.
Yeah.
Okay, 19 pills a day.
I
And
know.
nothing was getting better. I was like a zombie. I gained weight onto 300 pounds almost. It was a disaster.
Yes, yes. You know, I have to agree with you, unfortunately, that the medical system, and I don't use the medical system very often, but it's true that most doctors are very quick to prescribe medications. And a lot of these medications have side effects such as weight gain.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big thing, and a lot of women don't like that, right?
No,
Don't like
no,
that.
no. That's one thing that we all fight. Who,
Exactly.
tell me a woman that hasn't been in a diet.
Yeah, that's right.
We all have been in a diet at one point or another.
Yeah.
And especially when after children, after we have children, you know, that our metabolism change.
Yes,
That's the one time when people go more in diet, where women go more in the diet.
that's
And
right.
imagine going through that and then going through a stroke, taking all this medication, gaining all this weight. Nothing is in control. Your blood pressure is not in control. You ending up in the hospital every 3 or 4 months, three,
Yeah,
4 times a year.
yeah,
Imagine it was so bad that my family used to say, "Here goes Ida to another retreat."
right. Yeah. Well, that's it, because then your family starts worrying more and more about you.
And I was in fear. Every single time I went to the hospital, I was in fear of getting another stroke. I was in fear of dying.
Yeah,
It was a fearful living.
yeah. That's really not a good way of living, especially if you're going near the hospital and you're already starting to feel that anxiety, right?
That's not going to help lower your blood pressure. That's what it does. It make them add more medication and more medication and more medication.
Yes, yes, of course. Very good. Thank you. And I have to know, what in the world is biohacking? Can you tell us a little bit
Bio,
more about what that is?
yeah, biohacking is tools that you use in order to activate your cells and your body to do what you want them to do. So let's say, for example, let's say that you need vitamin D3 for a metabolic process. So if you can activate your body to produce exactly what you need, and you give the body all the tools that it needs so they can use the vitamin D3 properly, then you
Okay.
are biohacking your body.
Okay.
You see?
So you go into the cellular part of our body.
Yes, because what happens is that medicine, they treat
Mm-hmm.
your body in general. Let's say you have a headache, they give you something for the headache, and now you don't have the headache anymore. But
Right.
whatever is causing that headache is still causing damage.
Yes.
Remember, our body, the smallest unit is the cell. When the cell is not working right, then tissues are not working right. When tissues are not working right, then organs are not working right. When organs are not working right, the
Right.
system is not working right. When the system is not working right, that's when you're going to start having symptoms in your body. And
Right.
the medicine, all they do is take care of those symptoms, not knowing what the other part of the ladder is happening. So
Right.
when you're biohacking, you are giving yourself everything that they need in order for them to function in their highest potential and activate things. There are things in our body, for example, uh, um, you know that whenever we have free radicals, they always tell us take some antioxidants.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
because when we age, at the time that we are in the mid-20s to the 30s, we are not making any more of our natural antioxidants.
That's right.
Well, you know that they found a way for us to activate our cell to make some of the antioxidants that are more efficient than the antioxidants that we take by mouth. Because the one that you take by mouth, if you're having any digestive problem, you are not absorbing all of it.
Right.
Okay. Plus, anyway, half of it is gone through the digestive process by the time they go to your cells.
Right.
So if you can activate your own body to produce their own God-given ingredients that are going to work over 100% better than anything that you can consume, why not?
Yeah.
So that's part of biohacking.
Right. So how did you, I mean, I know you went through a lot of different health challenges. How did you discover this biohacking thing?
Okay, what happened was that when I got tired of it and I said, okay, that's it. I don't know what to do with myself. I decided to do research into natural medicine.
Right.
I did research into functional medicine. That's when I learned about the cells and how the cells work and how to fix the cell itself so everything else will be better with functional. And functional medicine, it treats everything with food.
Okay.
It's a combination. They treat everything with food, and when they need the help of a medicine, they add it, but mostly with food.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's
And then I
natural.
also went into Ayurveda Durva. I went into yoga, all the different types of modalities that you can think of. I went through and did research. Then I decided to go back to school and become a holistic practitioner. So when I was in school,
Hmm.
they teach a little bit about biohacking. Okay.
Oh.
But then I found myself later on, as I start my business, I found myself a company that's called Life Vantage, that they have a product that activate the cells to produce more of those antioxidants that we need. And then I went into a deep study about oxidative stress. What is oxidative stress? Oxidative stress is when you have too much of the free radicals that is breaking the cells, because the free radicals are negative ions that they are there trying to search for a partner. Because they're searching for a partner, they break out the cell, you know, and go to the other cell and break out the other one and continue. So that is called oxidative stress. If you go to PubMed.gov, that's where all the studies of medicine are, where a doctor want to find something out, that's the way they go. If you go to that particular engine and you search high blood pressure and oxidative stress, diabetes and oxidative stress, autoimmune disease and oxidative stress, any disease that you can think of with oxidative stress, you're going to see that they count oxidative stress as the pathogenesis, which means the origin of disease, of those diseases.
Oh.
Because when the cell break, you know, because it break, now it's not working properly, and it break the next one, the next one, the next one, it's going to cause damage in whatever area those cells are located.
Right,
so
right.
If the damage is happening in your joints, then you're going to either suffer of lupus, arthritis, of, you know, if it happened in your muscle, you're probably going to suffer of fibromyalgia. It's happening in your brain, you probably suffer of dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson.
Right.
If it's in the arteries, you probably have high cholesterol or high blood pressure. If it's in the heart, you probably have, you know, pericarditis or one of the diseases that have to do with the heart. So making sure that your cells are clean, which means that you clean up all that oxidative stress as much as you can. Because remember, our cells are replicating over and over.
Right.
So if the time of replication, they are deformed because of damage, they are multiplying deformed.
Oh, so if they're unhealthy cells, they're multiplying like unhealthy cells.
Unhealthy. And remember, our body multiply, like you can have a whole new blood cells in 120 days. Every 120 days, you have a whole new blood cells.
Right.
So really, if you give yourself what you're supposed to give to yourselves and the right food that you give to yourself, you can have a new body in a year where all the cells are all new and healthy.
Well, that's kind of inspiring.
Yes. Do you know that the taste bud cells, they change every 20 something days? So if you go into detox that it's lasted at least 21, you probably can change your taste bud and maybe don't eat that much sugar anymore. So those are the things that I'd like to work on.
Cool. Good. That sounds really exciting. Now, what do you think right now are the common health challenges that people in midlife or older face?
Okay, obesity,
Yeah.
diabetes, heart disease.
And okay, so those are the three main ones. Have these been the same that they were maybe 25 years ago when you first started working in healthcare?
Yes, they were the same, but the thing is that 20 something years ago, and even more, it used to be a disease that you only find in the elderly, about 65.
Right.
People were starting to having problem with the sugar, starting to having problem with the high blood pressure. But now people are starting younger. So by the time they get to that age, they are already in the third stage of the disease. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes. So why is it that people our age, are getting diabetes earlier?
Because their people are too comfortable about not changing the way they eat, for example. They are comfortable about their custom and their culture, and I'm not going to change what I eat. That's the first thing. The second thing is that our food industry is not helping. Do you know when they did that SAT diet, you know, the pyramid, that they take off the fat? When they take off the fat out of the food, they had to put something for flavor. So they add up sugar. Do you know that sugar has 62 different names? That they are how they say, they're deceiving us. You know, by putting all the sugars to this food, and sugar is as addictive as cocaine.
Yeah, and how many people actually look at the labels?
No,
and they read these labels and they have no idea
what they have, because they don't know. I mean, you can look at the label and don't find the word sugar there.
That's right.
But it has 4 or 5 different sugars that you doesn't know it. Because if you don't know what I know, you are not going to know that I have sugar. So that's what's happening. We are no longer eating food. We no longer we're eating a concoction of chemical with some food. That's what we're eating now, especially if you eat processed food. So that's what's going on. Our food industry are keeping us sick, because when you're sick, you're not thinking. This is my philosophy, people. Not everybody else. This is my way of thinking. Okay. Not Linda, just me. I feel that when they feed us that junk, and we stay sick, we are so concentrated in our sickness and our condition, our brain power is lower, so that way they can control us with everything that is happening in the government and everything else.
Right.
They keep us dumb, they can control us.
Yeah. Do you think that the food, and I know we're not going to talk a lot about the food industry, but do you think that the food industry, they know what they're doing? They're keeping us sick, right?
Yes, and maybe that was not the original reason why. Maybe the original reason is to make money, because they keep you addicted. You're gonna purchase more. I mean, have you ever opened a box of Oreos? I only have one. No, I don't even buy it, so I don't make the decision of having more, because I know I will have more.
I know I'll probably have 3 or 4.
Exactly.
One day, and another 3 or 4 the next day.
Exactly. So it is addictive. Those foods are addictive. And if you look at the ingredients, this is funny, because let's say you're buying something that is garlic rice, okay? When you look at the ingredients, if you don't see the word garlic and rice in the first 2 or 3 words, then you know that your food have a whole bunch of chunk of other stuff, and then you see rice and garlic at the end or in the middle.
That's right. Yeah.
The ingredients are in order of amount inside of the package.
Yeah.
So what you eating is not in the first 2 or 3.
Yeah. So is this why you think women need to be their own CEOs for health and their own lifestyle?
Yes, because I feel that we need to take control of our own health.
Right.
We cannot let a man that see you, maybe, I'm talking about the doctor, which is a man or a woman, that see you, maybe 15 minutes to 7 minutes, maybe twice a year, or maybe once a year. Maybe if you have a condition, they might see you 3, 4, 5 times a year.
Right.
But for that amount of time, for them to take total control of your health, they have 15 people before you, 15 people after you. All this documentation that they have to do, because now the doctor is not seeing you. They're like through the computer, writing and talking. They're not even touching you anymore.
Right.
And you leaving all your health concerns and all your problems to that person, when you're supposed to be taking control of it. Yes. When I said to become the CEO, you take the letter C. You need to create and to make the choice that you want to be healthy. That's the first thing. You have to create the choice that you want to be healthy. Then in the E, you need to educate yourself. Okay, how my body works. Right. What's my health history, so I know the things that I want to prevent. What my mama had, what my grandma had, that can come down to me, so I know that I can prevent those things.
Yes.
Okay? And then let's get organized. Let's remove the things that I need to remove and put in the things that I need to remove. Let's change my pantry. Let's change my refrigerator. Let's change the way that I cook. That's one thing that I'm trying to do for especially for us Hispanic. The Hispanic population are so tied to their culture and to their way of eating. Yes. I decided that I'm going to create I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm creating all our dishes in a healthier version.
Yes, I think that's wonderful. And it's the same thing with Francophones, in Canada. Back in the day, it was meat and potatoes that the families were being fed. Meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes. That was the staple. So people have to change their habits, their eating habits. Now, do you think that in the last, well, let me rephrase that. When do you think women or women in general have started to be their own CEO? When do you think this started, this way of thinking?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but there has been a big growth when it comes to women entrepreneurs and women that are taking charge of their life, because men are not taking the position that they're supposed to take, so women are taking the position. That's at that point, when they see themselves that I have to run a business, I have to run my house, I have to take care of my children, they have to think, I need the energy then. In order for me to function. I need to be able to deal with the demands that entrepreneurship and all my different many roles that I have, that I have the energy, the focus, the vitality. And that's when they started searching now. Okay, I need to know how to take care of my body, so my body can sustain me through all the things that I have to do.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
that's when they've been searching more into how to become the CEO of the health, searching more how I can take care of myself, making sure that they do more self-care, because those things are important. You cannot give out of an empty vessel.
Yeah. Like through your radio show or through the work that you do, how do you help women um, make that shift to take charge of their own health? How do you help them do that?
I do that by educating them. And I'm educating
Wonderful.
them, especially I educated them how the healthcare system works.
Right.
When they see how the healthcare system works, then they understand why is it that you need to become the CEO of your health.
Yeah.
Why is that I say that the doctor is responsible of your sick care and you are responsible of your health care?
Yeah.
Because if you see how the healthcare system works, for example, let me give you just a simple example. You know that the healthcare system is controlled by your insurance, by big pharma, and last the doctor. And
Right.
the doctor have even though he's the one that's supposed to have the most foresight, is the one that have the least, because he
Right.
can do anything that the insurance doesn't approve. For example, you know that insurances give the doctor a protocol to treat any disease.
Yes.
So let's say, for example, that you are diabetic and I am diabetic. Now, there's many reasons why you can be diabetic. People think that the only reason is because you eat a lot of sugar.
Right.
But there's other reasons why you can become diabetic. Remember when I was talking to you about the picture, about the oxidative stress deforming
Yes.
the cells? Okay, the cells have little garages, like garages door. That's where the insulin park and dump the sugar into the cell. So when the deforming of the cells is happening, it's deforming those garage doors.
Oh.
So now the insulin cannot park there and dump the sugar. So you
Right.
become insulin resistant. That's another way to become diabetes type 2. So
Oh.
insurance doesn't see why. Maybe this person was because she was eating. Maybe this person was because she has a large oxidative stress. Maybe this person was because she has such a stress lifestyle that the stress is causing inflammation. Inflammation happens when the cytokines, which are white blood cells, then inflame the whole area, covering those garage doors, you see? And then
Yes.
now the sugar. So there's many reasons why. So if I control your diet because you eat too much, then that will be a way to lower your sugar. This one is because of the oxidative stress. If I take care of the oxidative stress and also the diet, then I will take care of your sugars. The person
Right.
with the stress, and we could create an environment, makes you have, mental problem, or maybe she has stress of some sort, and things like that you have to work in her life, and you work that and the diet and everything, then, but insurance, the way they work is that they have a protocol. If somebody comes with the diagnosis of diabetes, you need to give it metformin. If metformin is not working, you need to add the glipizide. If the glipizide is not working, add the Januvia. When the Januvia is not working, then add long-acting insulin. If the long-acting insulin is not working, then short-acting insulin. And that's the protocol. So everybody have to go through that protocol.
It's the same protocol for everybody who has diabetes, for example.
Exactly. And then you cannot go to the next step until you exhausted that this step doesn't work. So the doctor might think the patient already need the insulin, but he needs to still go through all the steps. Or let's say you need an MRI and the doctor knows that you need an MRI, but the insurance is going to say, no, you need to get first an x-ray. If the x-ray is not working, then an ultrasound. If the ultrasound is not working, then the CT scan. If the CT scan is not working, then he can go to the MRI.
Right.
So they are controlling everything that the doctor, even if the doctor that have the good sense of knowing exactly what you need and that differentiate, cannot even practice what they want because the insurance is controlling them. Then pharma is controlling exactly which medications to prescribe.
Wow, what a vicious circle.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to tell my clients. You see, they are controlling you, the way you think, the way you get, and not knowing that all the side effects, because now let's say you start with just the metformin. You're thinking, okay, I'm gonna only have one medication. But that one medication can bring you to take 4 more medication because the metformin causes diarrhea, causes stomach ache. So you might need something for the diarrhea, you might need something for the stomach ache.
Right.
It can make you dizzy, you might need something for the dizziness. And you end up with 4 medications when all you wanted was one.
Yes, I know, it's terrible, and it just keeps going after that. They just keep piling medication. So if a woman wanted to take charge, start being their own CEO, what are, let's say, a couple of strategies they could actually start doing now?
Okay, there's 3 things that I always tell all my women entrepreneurs that you need to do. All women entrepreneurs that work out of a calendar. You know that they all work out of a calendar. So there's 3 things that you need to plug in your calendar before you do anything else if you want to become the CEO of your health. Okay. The first thing that you need to do is take care of your spiritual health. Okay, spiritual health, God first. I mean, if you're not a believer in God, there's other things that you do like meditation, but
Sure.
prayer, meditation, devotional, affirmation, gratitude, practicing that time alone,
Yes.
worshiping, reading the Word of God, but time to fill your spirit, because remember that we are made out of body, mind, and spirit, and they're all
Yes.
connected. When your spirit is not in align, and the spirit's where you get the source of who you are, what is my name, my self-worth, all that comes from your spirit.
Yes.
So you need to feel that.
Yes.
Okay?
That's so important.
Remember, your spirit is what gives you life. When you talk, and if you put your hand in front of you and you talk, your words are coming with a breath of life. That's why you have to be careful what you say, okay? Because when you're talking, you're giving life or death to somebody else.
Yes.
So the same thing to yourself, like doing the affirmations is talking life into yourself.
Right.
It's strengthening that your self-worth.
Yeah.
I
love that.
So that's important for you to take care of your spirit. Because when the spirit's not working right, it's going to manifest in your body and in your mind. When the mind is not working right, it's going to manifest in your body and your spirit. When your body's not working right, it's going to manifest in the spirit and in your mind. So you need to take care of your spirit first. Okay. Then the second thing that you need to do is self-care. That's the second thing. So now you plug in your schedule. Okay, when I wake up in the morning from 8 to 8:30, I'm going to be having my spiritual time. Whether that be reading the Bible, whether that be meditating, whether that be praying, whether that be listening to some worship music, praying, chanting, whatever it is that you guys, you do for your spiritual strength.
That's right.
You're going to do it there. You plug it in your schedule. The next thing that you're going to do is self-care. Right. Taking care of yourself, taking care of your nutrition, taking care of your exercise. So if you're a very busy woman, so I will say, like I do, every Sunday for me, this is Sunday. Sunday, I go to church in the morning. Then in the afternoon, we always go eat lunch or brunch. Then we go grocery shopping. And when I go grocery shopping, I separate my food and I prep my food for the week. And then that way, I know I'm going to have nutritious food in my refrigerator to eat at any time of the week.
Right.
You see? So it's very important for you to make sure to do that. And also self-care are things like having your girl nights out, or either let's do a facial. And you don't have to have money for none of that. You can use things that you have in the kitchen to do a facial, or to do a pedicure, or just to relax in the bathtub with the bubbles and essence oil and your candles and a cup of wine and a book. Oh, that is so, just having your me time. Exactly. Plus taking care of your nutrition and what you put in your body. Self-care. You need to schedule that in your calendar before anything else. And then the third thing that you have to do is nurture your relationships. Right. Nothing more stressful than not having good relations, especially in a specific, your family. That means your husband or wife, if it is a man that is listening, a husband or wife, your spouse, then your children, and then your parents. Right. And siblings, and then last your friends. So that doesn't mean, what I said, for example, especially the marriage, schedule your day night every week. Absolutely. I know that we like a spontaneity and stuff like that. That let it happen when it can be spontaneous, but at least you know that in a busy schedule, you're nourishing your relationship by having a scheduled date always there. Yes. Always have a time that you can have with your children, a one-on-one with each of your child. Yes. And then a time that you do family time. Yes. And that it can be once a week. It's not every day. Once a week, you do one of those things. Sure. Or and then have a time that you call, give a call to your mom and a call to your friend, a call to your sister, so that you can nurture those relationships. Yes. Because, it doesn't matter all the wins that you get if you don't have nobody to share it with. It's kind of lonely. Exactly. We are, even the introvert, we are a people person. That's right. We want to share our wins. It's not. I don't think it's to say if I'm doing good, but I don't have nobody to share it with. No, that's right. And it's part of connecting with people, right? It's part of that intimacy that we need so much. Yes, because what that do is that you got your 3 big rocks in your calendar. That means is that the rest of the time you have it to plug in your tasks and your business appointments and everything else, and then you'll be able to be more productive, more focused, more alert, and be able to do more in less time, because now you are healthy, you are focused, you are concentrated, you are not worried about the time I didn't spend with my husband or the time I didn't spend with my children and how my children are doing, because you're taking care of your children and everything, okay? And you're taking care of your spirit. You know that you're able to do it, that you are enough. because you're taking care of your spirit. So
That's
that
right.
time that you have plugged in for everything else is going to be a lot more productive, a lot more focus, a lot more creativity, and you're going to be able to make more.
Yeah.
And all those things that we talked before, we can even harmonize this. Let's say, for example, if you're going to do exercise and you want to spend one-on-one with one of your child, let's take a walk with one of your child. And now you did both. You can harmonize.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't have money to do a day outside, but I'm prepping the food for the week. Okay, hubby, come with me. Let's cook it together, play around and do all those things while we are cooking. And you already have a date right there with your husband. So you can harmonize these things if you want to.
Absolutely. I love the fact that you put us first, in a sense, right? Our mind, our spirit, our self-care, and then it's our family.
Yes,
I really
because if
like
you
that.
cannot give, like I told you before, you cannot give out of an empty vessel. We
Absolutely.
women always giving and giving and giving, and then we feel guilty. We feel guilty if we do something for ourselves. Don't feel guilty because you won't be able to give out of an empty cup. If you have an empty cup or it doesn't have no water, you won't be able to give to anybody else.
That's right. Yeah.
So you need to fill yourself first, so you can give to your journey, to your job, to your career, to your loved ones. Because otherwise, you are not going to be able to give anything.
That's
so it's
right.
essential
Yeah.
for us to take care of ourselves first, so that we can take. It's like when you go to a plane, don't they tell you put your mask first and then put everybody else first? Because you cannot breathe, how are you going to help anybody else? The more you can breathe, the more people you're going to be able to help with their masks.
That's right, Ada. That is number one. I'm so glad that that we agree on this, because it's so important for us women to take care of ourselves. And maybe when we were younger, we took care of everybody else and we got sick because of that. Right?
Exactly, because we're not taking care of anybody else. We're taking care of everybody else and not taking care of us. And that's it's in history. Especially, let me tell you something, the Latin woman, that's the culture that they teach you. You have to take care of your husband, you have to take care of your kids, you need to have your house clean. They don't even allow you to think about dreaming and about doing things. Now, in these eras, when you're seeing a lot of women in the Hispanic community going into more entrepreneurship things, because and into fulfilling their dreams, because that's not the way I was raised. By the time I was 10 years old, I knew how to cook, I knew how to clean, I knew how to watch. And I'm talking watching by hand.
Yeah.
I'm not talking watching in the machine. Okay? I knew how to do all that by 10 years of age. That's the way they taught us. They taught us we had to be the perfect wife.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember being raised in a similar way in the French communities as well. People were getting married at such a young age. It wasn't uncommon for people to get married at 18, 19 back in the day, right?
Yes, I did get married at 18. I got married at 18 and it was a disaster, and then I got pregnant when I was 20, and when I wasn't pregnant, I divorced I separated him, and then I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. And I raised my daughter practically by myself. I didn't get married again until she was 12. Now we've been married for 17 years.
Yeah, that's wonderful. But at least, when we get married, when we're older, we have a better idea of what we're getting into and the responsibilities of being in that type of relationship. So we're getting near the end of our interview. If I was one of your clients, Ada, what would be our typical first meeting like?
Okay, for our first meeting, what I have is what I call a discovery session. I gave him an history questionnaire to give me the health history.
Right.
And they fill out the health history. And our first meeting, we are discussing the health history, so I can have an idea exactly what route I'm going to take. Right. Even when I do groups in group coaching, I still get the appointment first. The first week, I make sure I got everybody's appointment with all the history, because it have happened to me. It's funny, and I don't know if it's the universe that make this happen, but usually when I do the group classes, then almost everybody that I have in that group suffer diabetes. So when I go to the education part of the program that I'm going to discuss every disease, then I don't have to discuss every disease, and then I concentrate on the ones that the people are suffering in that group.
Yes.
So it happens like that. I don't know why. Everybody have high blood pressure or history or arthritis.
Well, that's good. Keeps it simple that way.
Like that. Always one or two extra, but the majority is always the same disease. So I like to do that first to make sure what's going on with them, and to prepare, because there's one of the modules is where I create for them an individual lifestyle protocol. For that individual lifestyle protocol, I need to know exactly their health history, what they're taking, if they're taking medications, and I need to be in communication with their doctors and all that stuff, so that I can create that protocol for them. So I want to make sure that I have their health. That's the first thing they do. And then they go to their first module that they have to do all with their mindset, to change their mindset, why to take care of. If you cannot change your mind, it doesn't matter what you teach them. You can teach them everything about the body, you can teach everything about the food, everything about the spirit, and everything, and they're not going to get it. Because they haven't changed their mindset. So that's what goes first. After I change their mindset, then I start educating them about nutrition 101, the different diseases 101, and then the root causes of disease. Because the root causes of disease are oxidative stress, inflammation, leaky gut, and stress. So I make sure I teach them about that, okay? And then we go to a detox, where we start removing all the nasty stuff, all the things that you're not supposed to. We are reconstructing our refrigerator, reconstructing our pantry, and also the way that we eat. And they get into a detox where they're going to detox for sugar and all the nasty stuff, so they can change the way that they eat. After that, I create the individual protocol. And after the individual protocol, then we have a week about spirituality, where we make sure that I know I'm a Christian, and I know everybody that comes into my group are a Christian, but I go to the general stuff, that do you have any unforgiveness? Do you practice gratitude? Do you know your self-worth? And all that stuff, I go through that. And then after that, I go through purpose. The next one is purpose. Because now you're healthy. Now you know what you want. Now you know what you have to do for your body, what you have to do. Because a person that doesn't have a purpose, doesn't have a why, doesn't have a vision in their life, they have no reason why to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
So I want to always make sure that we go through purpose and teach them how to create their vision statement, how to set goals, and how to find their purpose. And then from there, usually, then those ones that are eager, I'm very resourceful. So they tell me I want to do this, or I want to do that. I can come with things to get them started.
Right.
And then I transfer them to a business coach if they really want to do a business coach or a purpose coach or something like that, that will help them fulfill that area of their life.
Wow. What a comprehensive program. And it starts with us.
Exactly.
We have to be healthy first before we can even think of running a business kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful. All right. So how do people get a hold of you? Get a hold of you? And I'll be putting this information down in the video as well.
Okay. They can go to my, I have a Facebook page that is www.facebook.com/RX for Everlasting Health.
And could you send that to me afterwards?
Yes, I send that everything to you afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
And then they can go to send me an email at info@rx4everhealth.com. They can go to my website, and if they go to my website right now and they sign in the website with their email, they can get a 60 whole food recipes book.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's a
generous
gift.
My website is www.rx4everhealth.com.
Perfect.
And I have a group in Facebook where I give biohacking tips every week that they can get there. And anyway, and the name of the group is Biohacking Tools for an Everlasting Health.
Wow. You are a bundle of energy, a bundle of information, and probably a bundle of joy to work with as well.
Yes, they can come, and they're more interested and they want to work one-on-one with me. They can just, if they go to my website, there where they can sign in for a one-on-one discovery session. The discovery session is always free. So if you just want to take the discovery session just to learn a little bit about me and what I do, for the people that just come for the discovery session, I always try to give them 3 tips that they can do. Depending on the history, once they fill the history form for me, I give them 3 tips that what they can do to start, getting into an everlasting health.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again for the wonderful interview and the wonderful information. It was informative and it was educational as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aida. And did you know that I'm a coach and I'm a teacher, and I'm not a marketer. So if I forget to say, like my video, add a comment, and subscribe to my channel, that's because I'm not thinking about it. So don't forget, like my video, add a comment, and subscribe to my channel. And of course, the reason I'm saying this is because I always put out good stuff. I can even dance. Oh yeah, woohoo. And I could sing, woo. I'm actually a very good singer, if you really want to know. That's right. So you might as well like it and comment and share it, because you never know what you're going to do. Nope. You never know what I'm going to do on one of these things. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video, because it's all part about getting back in your groove again. Uh-huh.